it's going to be extremely important that you have your Chromebooks charged, because you can see where the charging stations usually are. There are people sitting there now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can't flip desks, like we can't switch desks. So we're all gonna have to be really aware of that. And I also think because there's more people that you should wear your masks when you're sitting down too, because we have more people. I mean, I can't require you to do that, but I think for all of our safety, it would be a good idea. Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome back.
Morning.
Oh, thank you. There is somebody out there. All right. Okay, so we are going to start a new unit today. Okay, Caleb, that's a question that you have to have somebody call Mrs. Terplak about. Because technically right now you are still a Husky hybrid person as far as I know, but I'm not the person to ask. Somebody has to call Mrs. Terplak and she will help you out with that. Okay, honey? All right, so we are going to start a new unit, and we're going to start a new unit on poetry. Yay! Now I know that many of you are probably sitting there saying, barf, right? I feel you. All right. All right. So here's the thing. I know a lot of kids say, oh, I hate poetry. I hate poetry. Poetry stings. It's boring. I don't understand it. I hate it. Blah, 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 blah. How many of you listen to music on a regular basis? How many of you listen to the lyrics of the songs that you listen to on a regular basis? Guess what? It's poetry, right? So if you listen to music and you actually pay attention to the lyrics and the words, you're actually listening to poetry, okay? So the way I do this is we're going to take kind of a poem each day. But before I do that, let me show you. Poetry is near and dear to my heart. You see this thing, this ancient book that's falling apart? See? I think I was a little bit older than you when I started to collect poems. And I would spend time, this was before the internet and before computers. And when I was bored, I would spend time looking up poems and writing poems and collecting poems. And over the years, my book got too small for all of the poems I had. So there's all these random papers shoved in here. So there are some poems in here that I found everywhere. There's actually a section in the back for just song lyrics kind of poems from songs that I liked. My handwriting was way neater back then, but I used to stay up in the summer and copy poems down till 2 o'clock in the morning and listen to music at the same time. But that's how I used to pass my time as a kid, sometimes. So poetry's been kind of important to me for a really long time. And what I normally would do, and honestly, I don't know how to do this year, but normally when I didn't do my poetry unit, I would have, we're going to write a bunch of poems. I think there's 9 of them that I have picked out already, 9 types of poems. And I will give you a structure for each type. Sometimes you will have to write 2. Sometimes you will have to write 3. Sometimes you'll have to write 1. It depends on what I assign to you. Okay. So there's a structure. And then the last poem we'll do together is we will do what's called a free verse, where you can take any or all of those kinds of ideas and put them together in your own kind of made up poem. And I used to, for many, 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 many years, when we got done, I would have the kids write out really neatly or type up and print out their poems, all of the poems that you're going to write in the next few weeks. And then you would create a book for yourself. And then I would also have kids make me a copy. And then I would have a big binder for every year of all the different types of poems from the kids. So because our print, we don't have a very good printer. Like I went to print new seating charts this morning and I couldn't even do that. And I went down to 7th grade and the printers in the building aren't working. We're not gonna be able to do that. But what I would tell kids is like when you had your little book of your poems, right? You should hold on to that because that becomes a part of who you are in this moment in time, a part of who you are in 6th grade, right? I have kids that are adults now that I'm friends with on Facebook and they still tell me, hey, Miss Jost, I still have my 6th grade poetry book. It's really cool. I had one year, a girl, she loved pizza. Every poem she wrote about was about pizza. It was actually kind of funny. I had another kid who was a dirt bike racer and he wrote a lot of his poems about his experience dirt biking. And it became this little like capsule of, you know, his interest at that time or her interest at the time. It's kind of neat. So I encourage you, we're not going to be printing anything out just because of circumstances and because some of you here aren't. But if you have the ability to have a printer at home and print out your poems when we're all done and just sort of clip them together. I used to have kids like draw a cover, right? And make it actually a book. Okay, so you can do that on your own. If you wanted to bring that into me, I would give you extra credit for doing that. You could also handwrite them and then create a cover design. And usually what I would tell kids is, well, what, you know, you need to name your book, just like any book needs a name. You can name your book and then, you know, sometimes it's like one of your titles or a line from a poem could be the name of your book. It's kind of a cool thing to do. I'm not going to require you guys to do that just because of circumstances, because some of us are here, some of us aren't. I would probably have you handwrite them if I wanted you to do that. But I will encourage you to do that because it is a piece of who you are in this moment in time. Like I have things, and I don't look at them so often now, but I have things like in here that I wrote when I was in middle school and junior high. And it's kind of fun, even at my old age, to go back and look at what I wrote and what I was thinking. You know, I could tell I discovered a thesaurus. Anybody know what a thesaurus is? What is it? No, a thesaurus. It's not a dinosaur.
I have one of those.
What, Haley?
It's like a dictionary book, right?
It's kind of like a dictionary, except for it has synonyms. So it has words that have like the same meaning. So I could tell by my writing from a kid, like when I realized, oh, I could use a thesaurus and like use different words in this, like instead of saying good, I could use like wonderful or something, you know, like use synonyms for those words. So it's kind of fun to go back and look at that when you're a little bit older. All right, so how are we going to do this? Well, let me share my screen. I will also post, and honestly, I got sidetracked 3 times today, so I don't know if I posted it yet. But last year I did a poetry unit with the kids when everybody was totally remote. And I made videos for each one of the types of poems that we're going to do. So I will post, instead of posting like this video, perhaps I will post the little short condensed directions for you. Okay, so if we go to first period, there is a new topic under classwork. It's called poetry right here. Okay, and then there's a document in here. So I don't want you to go open to the document yet. I just want you to take a look at my document. If I could find what I did with it, here it is. Okay, because we're going to look at some and then we're going to write some together. So this first type of poem we're going to do is called a Take 5 poem. You should be looking at your screen right now, not at your plastic bag. Okay, so it's called a Take 5 poem. And it says, after watching the Take 5 video, which would be this one or the other one I'm going to post, use this document to write 2 of your own. So the assignment is to write 2 Take 5 poems. Okay. Here's some review information from before break. You need to know, in order to write one of these, you need to know these parts of speech: noun, adjective, verbs. So it tells us that a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. Can somebody give me an example of a word that is a noun? Okay. Mrs. Jost. It's a proper noun, right? It's a specific person. Give me another example of a noun. Soap. Good. Adjectives describe a noun. So somebody give me an example to describe soap.
Soapy.
Well, you wouldn't say soapy soap. Well, maybe you would, but yeah, then it would be an adjective. What were you going to say, Alex? colorful soap. Okay, I was thinking slippery, foamy, clean soap. Okay, we got the idea. All right, be kind. The other noun we heard was Mrs. Jost. Somebody give me a just describing word for Mrs. Jost. Be kind. Wonderful. Oh, she's lying. Yeah. Old. Thank you so much. How do you know I'm old? Because I have gray hair. Maybe I dyed it that way. I always wanted highlights in my hair, you know? So now you have it. There you go. All right. And then verbs are action words or words of being, like am, right? So can somebody give me another action word? Running. Swinging. So Mrs. Jost was running and swinging from the chandelier. I don't. How about, what's the soap doing? What's the clean soapy soap doing? Slipping down the mountain. There you go. Slipping would be it. Okay. So in order to write Take 5 poems, you have to have a good handle on those 3 parts of speech. Okay. Because every line is very specific. Okay. So Take 5 poems are 5 lines long as follows. The first line is one noun. It's whatever your topic is. Okay. We'll just stay with me, is one noun. Okay. Then in line 2 are 2 adjectives that describe line 1. Okay. So once you pick your topic, that's going to be your first line, 1 word. And then the next line is going to be 2 words that describe the first line. And then the third line are going to be 3 verbs, 3 actions that tell what line 1 does. And then number 4 is a thought or a phrase about the noun. And then line 5, it repeats line 1, or you use a synonym, a word that has a similar meaning to line 1. So basically, once you pick your topic, 2 of your 5 lines are done, 1 and 5. Right? So here's some examples, right? The first one is trees. That's what it's called. So if you notice, the title is written in quotation marks and it has a capital letter at the beginning of the title, right? And then you have 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it says trees, shady, bare, branching, blooming, growing. They eat your kites, trees. So if you look at the steps, the first line is a noun, trees, right? The second line, describe trees, shady, bare. The next line are verbs, actions. What do trees do? They're branching, they bloom, they grow. They put the ing on there, right? And then the fourth line is a thought. They eat your kites. They sure do if they get caught up. And then you just repeat line number 1 again, or give me a synonym. Not hard. Got to think a little bit, right? The next example is holiday. So again, you need a title for all of your poems, okay? So it's real easy to Take 5 poems, just pick your noun. So holidays in quotes, capital letter. First line, holiday. Adjectives, cheerful, merry, visit, eat, talk. Those are things you do at holidays, right? Usually when you're not in a pandemic. Makes me warm inside, festival. So festival is a synonym for holiday, okay? If you notice, each of the lines, right? Well, not each of the lines, but line 1 is only 1 word. Line 2 is 2 words. Line 3 is 3 words. Line 4 is a phrase or a sentence. So that's as many words as you need. And then the last line, line 5, is 1 word. Okay. Kids get caught up, but you have to follow the steps. And then it says, please write 2 Take 5 poems. And here's some ideas. You can write a poem about spring, fall, winter, summer, sun, moon, water, earth, teacher, mom, dad, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, kittens, dogs, turkeys, pizza, quarantine, coronavirus, etc. Or pick your own topic. So before we pick our own topic, somebody pick any topic and we'll write one together as a group. Minecraft. Well, that would be hard for me because could we just do video games? Because I am not familiar with any video games other than card games. What? Ramen noodles? Yeah, you could if you wanted to. All right. If I knew how to spell. All right. So just watch my screen still. Okay. And I will post this in first period once we get done. All right. How do you spell ramen? R-A-M-I-N? E-N? E-N. I don't eat them. So. Okay. So line 1, ramen. Oh, wait. Here comes line 1. Let me back up. So line 1 is done. All right. Give me 2 adjectives that describe ramen noodles. Just give me one. Okay, you gave me 2, tasty and delicious. Can we go with that? Okay, tasty, delicious. Mrs. Jost can spell, that's not right. Okay, let me see if I can back this up a little bit. All right, what's the next, how do you spell delicious, Ms. Jost? Delicious. Delicious. Where's my spell check? Oh my goodness, hold on a second. Schools, spell check. Okay, it's probably telling me that because it's not a sentence. All right, so what's the next line? So that's line 1 is the noun. Line 2 are 2 adjectives. Kiara, can you tell me what line 3 needs to be? You can scroll back up so you can see. Yeah, you're Kiara, right? What does line 3 need to be? Tell what line 1 does, right? So I need 3 words, 3 actions about ramen noodles. Give me 1. Disappear. Because you eat them. What else? Think about the cooking process. Think about the cooking process. What? Bubbling. Give me one more. Soap. No, it needs to be something it does. Okay, they disappear. They bubble. They're bubbling. What? Soaks.
Heat up.
Eat up. Well, that's 2 words. What's another word for eat up? So you could just say eat, right? Okay, now let's think about this a second. Do they disappear first? You eat? No, they bubble first, then eat, and then they disappear. And I'm going to suggest changing bubbling to bubble or boil, right? So I'm going to just rearrange this because I like to put things in order. So we're going to say, do we want boil or bubble? Okay, boil, comma. Notice I have commas between them. Boil, what did we say? Eat, disappear. Eat. Oh my goodness. Come on. I'm doing good. Okay, very good. What does the next line have to be? I'm going to ask Mr. Schuyler. So we've done lines 1, 2, and 3. What's line 4 have to be? I'll scroll up for you. Okay, a thought or phrase about the noun. So I don't eat ramen noodles. So somebody tell me how you feel about ramen noodles. They're delicious. All right, they are delicious, but we already used the word delicious up here. Yeah, good's kind of a weak word. I know some of you aren't in the room, but there are dead words in my room, like weird, cool, dude, stuff, nice, good, bad. Like those are like not really good 6th grade words, because like if you tell me that something's weird and cool, like I don't really like know what you like talking about. Like even though that's really nice, dude, it's like nice stuff, but I like it's not really that good. It's kind of bad because I don't know what you're saying. Ouch. All right, somebody give me a sentence or a thought about ramen noodles. And how about anybody out there in Zoom land? Anybody want to try it? What are we thinking about ramen noodles? Paige, give me an idea. Okay, I'm asking a different question. Somebody tell me something about ramen noodles. Mrs. Jost doesn't eat them.
They're amazing.
They're amazing. They're what? They can cure your anxiety. How about we'll shorten that up. Cures your anxiety. I'm not really sure how, but it's food. So yeah, I get that. Cures your anxiety. Okay. And then the last line needs to either be the same as line 1 or a synonym. I'm thinking of another word I can use here other than ramen. No. What about noodles? Excuse me, children. Hello? What about noodles? No, you said spaghetti. Okay, so here you go. Easy peasy, right? Ramen. That's the title. Ramen, tasty, delicious, boil, eat, disappear, cures your anxiety noodles. I'm going to say, do we want to put S's on our verbs? Boils, eats, disappears. Okay, so your assignment is to write 2 of these for tomorrow. Now listen to me. When you do these, if you don't do them correctly, you're going to get them back without a grade until you do them correctly. So if you need help and you're confused, you should ask, because I would be more than happy to help you. Okay, probably what I'll do is sometimes I'll highlight like 1 or 2 words that you got wrong, but just look at the structure of the 3 poems that you have before you. Like lines 1, well, in all of them is only 1 word. Line 2 is 2 adjectives. Line 3, 3 verbs. Line 4 is a thought. Line 5, 1 word. Okay, you have to write 2 different ones. So you have to pick a topic. So pick a topic you're interested in or that you know something about, right? And I will post this, our classwork, up in Classroom. Questions, problems, issues. Get your work, please. And I usually like to share some of these. Oh, I could stop sharing my screen now. Sorry.